If you're like us, you have a lot of zucchinis that you're harvesting out of your garden and you're looking for things to do with them. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make this delicious, savory, cheesy zucchini bread. I just love the Palermo zucchini plant. I plant them every year and I get so many beautiful, light colored, giant, and slender zucchinis. They're just delicious and all kinds of recipes. Today, we're going to make a cheesy, savory zucchini bread. The first thing you're going to want to do is get your oven heating to 350 degrees and get your loaf pan. You can put parchment paper in here. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of olive oil in here. This is a non-stick pan. Just going to put a tiny bit of olive oil in here. Just a light coat will do it. To shred my zucchini, I'm going to shred it right onto a towel because we have to strain out as much of the liquid that we can get out of this. So I figured it's just easier for me to do it right on top of a towel. So here we have our shredded zucchini. And now we want to wrap it in this towel and try to squeeze as much of the water out as we can. So I'm just going to start squeezing. So I have my shredded zucchini. I have gotten out as much moisture as I can with this one towel. And I have my scale here with my mixing bowl. I'm looking for about 300 grams of zucchini. So I'm going to go ahead and scoop it into my bowl and we'll see how much I have. That's 100 grams, 200, 250, 274. So yeah, this one Palermo will be enough to make this bread. I should get about 300 once I get all of this out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and scrape all of this into my measuring bowl. So I ended up getting 321 grams of zucchini. All the moisture is out of it. And it's perfect. As you can see, I went ahead and shredded it right and poured it right into my KitchenAid bowl. And I'm going to add the other ingredients right here into this bowl too. We're going to put in 2 eggs. Now we're going to add 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and we need to melt it, or 6 tablespoons or 85 grams. Now we're just going to add the butter to this bowl. Now we're going to go ahead and add some plain Greek yogurt. You could use sour cream if you want. And we're just going to add 60 grams or 1/4 cup of the plain Greek yogurt. Now, this is optional, but you can add a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. It's supposed to just add a little bit of flavor to this savory zucchini bread. So I'm going to try it out. Just going to mix it all up, blend it all up. I decided not to attach it to my KitchenAid because I don't want to get the zucchini too mushy, and I don't want too much liquid to come out of the zucchini. So I'm just going to use this fork to kind of blend it up and blend the egg into the mixture. So now we're going to go ahead and cut our cheese and weigh it, and then we're going to shred it. We want 2 cups of sharp cheddar cheese or 170 grams of sharp cheddar cheese shredded. You know, you could use any kind of cheese you want. It makes delicious different profiles. I just love cheese and how there's just so many different types, and it's wonderful. This is my first time making this garden cheddar zucchini loaf, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with the cheddar cheese this first time. But you know, it would probably be really, really good with some maybe spicy cheese with chilies or something like that. So there's all kinds of different things you can do and experiment with this zucchini loaf. Today I'm just going to go with sharp cheddar, and I'm going to shred it all up. Now into the bowl it goes, along with your other ingredients. Now we add the Parmesan cheese. We always get the Kirkland because, you know, we've read that it's really good quality. We really like it. But we put in a half a cup or 50 grams of freshly grated Parmesan cheese added along with the cheddar. This is going to be delicious with all this cheese. Can't wait to try it. Next, we're going to add some of the spices. We're going to put in a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I freeze my bunching onions and I use them like this. So I just take them out, I flash freeze them, and then I take them out when I need them and I just sprinkle them in. I also take my bunching onions and I dehydrate them and make them into my own onion powder. So this is my own onion powder. And we're putting in about a half a teaspoon. As you can see, I'm just putting it in to taste. Lots of onion powder. You can put in garlic powder, Italian seasoning. Now we're just going to stir it all up. Make sure it's mixed really nicely. We need to add our dry ingredients. And that's what we're going to do next. So now we're going to go ahead and add our flour, and we put in 1.5 cups of bread flour or 190 grams. I'm using bread flour, but you could substitute and just use all-purpose flour. You might mix maybe some white flour with some whole wheat flour. I'm just using the bread flour. Now we're adding 2 teaspoons of baking powder. This is what's going to help it to rise. I'm using the granulated garlic. I don't have garlic powder. I started using granulated garlic because it's nice, it's strong, but I love garlic, so it works for me. 1 teaspoon. I'm using some minced onion. You can use powdered onion, you can use minced onion. I use a lot of everything. I'm also using a teaspoon of kosher salt. You can add in some black pepper. Now it's time to mix all of the ingredients together. This is a very stiff batter. I was a little surprised. I expected it to be a little more moist, simply because I did put in the zucchini, I put in eggs and butter and yogurt, but it just is surprisingly just a very stiff batter. So be prepared for that. But I went ahead and I mixed it up. You could go ahead and use a beater if you want. I could have put this in my KitchenAid and mixed it in there. Again, I just didn't want to express too much of the juice out of the zucchini. So I did the entire process by hand. Now I'm going to go ahead and spread it into the Farberware bread pan. My bread pan is non-stick, and I did put a little bit of olive oil in there with a Kleenex and just kind of wiped it around. Again, the batter, just expect it to be a very stiff batter. You kind of push it in and just kind of smooth it out. Now I'm just going to take some more Parmesan cheese, and I'm just going to sprinkle it all over the top of this loaf. It'll add a nice crunchy top to it once it's cooked. Now here's where I'm adding my pepper. I'm putting some fresh ground black pepper all over the top. Here we go. Let's slice this beautiful bread. Well, the zucchini bread is out of the oven, and let me give you a close-up here. You see all the cheese and the herbs, the nice crusty crust with all the Parmesan cheese. Let me do a taste test. Mmm. This is really, really delicious. You've got to try this. I posted the recipe in the description. Have fun making it and enjoy. And hopefully you'll have lots of zucchini so you can continue to make this all season long. Happy gardening.